And when you call my name, I won't be far away. No matter where you go, you'll never be alone. Be alone, be alone. No, you'll never be alone, be alone.
Ponytails. Read by Scribbler. Bleak. That's all that could be said about the weather in southern Equestria. Bleak and rainy. Raindrops the size of marbles coming down at a rapid pace in a small town. No pony knows the name of the town, but that is unimportant. A small tavern sits quietly in the middle of the town. A small sign sits on the side of the door that reads, "The Rotten Hayseed." Such a lovely little name for tourists. That was a lie, of course, for you see, the tavern is only occupied by Equestria's despised. No other pony dared to venture into the tavern, for they knew they'd probably never come out without a broken bone or two. No civilized pony would even think about going into that despicable place. So, naturally, we venture in. The lighting in the tavern is weak, supplied only by a few lanterns hanging on the ceiling, some of them not even lit. The barkeep is at the front, behind the bar, cleaning glasses and asking for drink orders. The sound of classic bar music from a piano is heard throughout the place, played by that blue unicorn magician Trixie. If you would look around, you would see some other hated faces from all over the horse-infested world. Over to the left, the rival archaeologist of Daring Do, Dr. Caballeron, is bragging about finding treasures to the bored-looking, bad-mouthing Griffin Gilder and that wretched, wild-haired maniac. Over to the right, you see the spoiled little brats Diamond Tiara and Silver Spoon recoiling in disgust at the 3 diamond dogs sitting at the table next to them, possibly because of that foul stench coming from them. And over at the bar, you see the smooth-talking con artists Flim and Flam getting themselves a glass of strong apple cider. The list does not stop there, though. Garble, Suri Polomare, Auizotel, the tavern is just filled with the worst of the worst. However, the real excitement is happening at a small round table in the back, where the true worst are gathered for a friendly, quote-unquote, friendly game of poker.
"All right, fillies and germs,"
says the cocky Draconicus as he shuffles the deck.
"The name of the game is 5-card stud. Let's make this a fair game."
Are aces high or low?
Asks the Black Princess of the Night.
They go both ways, I believe,
Answers the Changeling Queen.
Just deal already,
Snaps the Crystal King. As you may have guessed, the owners of the table are the Big Four of Equestria: Nightmare Moon, Discord, Chrysalis, and Sombra. They have something that makes them stand out above all the others. They are considered worse than all the others in the room put together. And yet, there is still some pony missing, and Discord realizes it as he deals the cards.
Where's Tirek? I thought he was coming.
I believe he said he would be running late.
Nightmare replies as she takes her cards.
Although some pony will be coming in his place. I don't know who, but I hope they're a good card player.
Suddenly, the door bursts open, and every pony except the 4 turn to see who is coming in. Although they don't look to see what is going on, the 4 suddenly hear all of the tavern groan, like something annoying just popped in.
Hi, guys! You all look so great!
Annoying is putting it mildly. The 4 wince as they recognize the voice right away. They understand why every pony else groaned as well. Sure, the owner of this voice is part of the group of sirens that terrorized not only Equestria, but an alternate dimension as well. But that doesn't take away from the fact that she annoys the hay out of the rest of Equestria's underbelly.
Please tell me it isn't who I think it is.
Chrysalis groans. Discord peeks over his shoulder, and quickly turns around again with a disgusted look on his face.
Maybe she hasn't noticed us yet.
Nightmare whispers.
If we just lay low and not say anything, maybe she'll just go away.
Hi, guys!
The voice calls as it gets closer.
Ugh, what? Does she have Vulcan hearing?
What's Vulcan?
Long story, I'll tell you later.
There is no getting around it. As the footsteps get closer, the four prepare for the face they know is coming. As they turn around, they are greeted by a slim figure with blue hair tied back in a ponytail, navy highlights, a purple jacket, pink skirt, and a very big smile.
Hi, Sonata.
Every pony groans as she sits down at the table.
So, what you playing?
Poker.
Chrysalis mumbles. Sonata nods with the smile not even fading, as if waiting for an invitation. Chrysalis groans.
I don't suppose you would like to join in.
Every pony begins to rapidly pray.
Okay.
Sonata replies. Every pony groans again as Discord passes her 5 cards. Pretty soon, 5 of Equestria's rogue list sit intently at the table, gazing at their cards. The table is quiet, for about a minute, until Sonata speaks up again.
Wait, is this game like Go Fish?
Sombra rolls his eyes as Nightmare Moon face-hoofs herself.
Ugh. Yes, Sonata. It's almost like a cross between Go Fish and Gin Rummy.
Discord answers sarcastically.
Okie dokie.
Sonata happily responds, unaware of the sarcasm, as she goes back to her cards.
So, some weather outside, huh?
It is always raining like this in southern Equestria.
I know, Mooney.
Nightmare winces at the stupid nickname.
I was just thinking about how the weather reminded me of the time my sisters and I first arrived in the human world after our banishment.
You don't say.
Sombra says unenthusiastically.
Oh, but I do say. I remember it like it was yesterday. We had just arrived by our swelling portal.
I don't know, Adagio responded. Last thing I remember, we were stealing away some energy from a nearby village when... of course, that lousy magician Starswell the Bearded faced us and said he would banish us to where our powers could never hurt any pony again.
Looks like he meant it, I added as I pointed out to the open space. The others looked down and all our eyes went wide as plates. Even through all the rain, we were still able to see the new world for what it was. Strange creatures walking down the street on 2 legs, with hands and no tails. Not only that, but we had turned into those creatures ourselves. I was quite terrified. Adagio and Arya said they weren't afraid, but I think they lied because I was able to jump scare Arya. Oh, I've never seen her jump so high or have that much emotion on her face. I laughed until I thought I was gonna puke. That is, until she grabbed me by my hair and threatened to drown me if I did that again.
Ooh, I love the way Arya thinks.
Chrysalis mumbles to Sombra, who snickers.
We spent hours getting used to our new appendages, learning to walk, use our hands, and the other stuff. We learned over time that the creatures are called humans, and we were still able to steal energy from them without singing. It was never as powerful as the stuff back in Equestria, until the day that Princess Twilight came to the world. There was this whole thing about Battle of the Bands and Taco Tuesday, and, well, we were finally able to get equestrian magic and return to full power. We were this close to taking over, until the girls and the newest member, Sunset Shimmer, showed us up with a giant alicorn bomb and took our power. Now we can't even carry a tune. You want to hear?
No!
Shout not only the 4, but the rest of the tavern as well. Every pony is well aware of the sirens singing voices without their power.
So, let me get this straight.
Says Nightmare. She pulls a card from the deck.
You and your sisters almost took over by sucking the negative energy out of others through song, and you were defeated by an alicorn spirit bomb?
Pretty much.
A short silence falls on the table as the 4 look at each other. Suddenly, within a second, the whole group bursts out laughing. Discord holds his sides as Chrysalis bangs a hoof on the table, and Sombra and Nightmare hang on to each other for support. The only one who doesn't find this amusing is Sonata.
Hey, Hey, stop teasing! Like any of you have come so close to means of taking over Equestria.
Maybe they haven't, but I have with my dark crystals.
Ugh. Enough with the crystals, Sombra!
Discord grunts as he stretches his arm far above the table.
We've had it up to here with the crystals! Why don't you try diamonds for a change? A lot less fragile, you know?
Mock if you will, Discord.
Sombra responds.
But it was because of my dark crystals that I was able to fully take over the Crystal Empire before. I had come from a faraway land, far outside the borders of Equestria. It was over 1,000 years ago when I first came to Equestria, bent on taking a city for my own. My magic was far different than others. I had just mastered the unicorn's forbidden dark magic and was able to bend all things to my will. I traveled around for a while until I stumbled upon a kingdom made entirely out of crystal. Even the ponies who resided there were crystal. My luck increased even more when I learned the princess running the place had mysteriously disappeared. That wretched pink alicorn with a heart as pure as crystal known as Princess Cadence. With her disappearance, I was able to seize the city for myself. Though some tried to stop me, my magic was far superior than anything they could throw at me. It didn't take me long to fully take control, and over the course of time, I was able to create magical black crystals that aided in my control.
And then the sisters turned you to smoke.
Discord mumbles under his breath.
Hey, I put up a pretty good fight. There I was, sitting in my throne room, when BAM! The princesses came crashing through the window. They announced that my reign was over, but I wasn't about to go down that easily. They started to charge me with their horns glowing. Closer and closer they came.
Every pony leans in with anticipation as Sombra continues to talk.
I readied myself for battle. They got closer and closer and closer. They prepared to fire their magic, and then...
Yeah?
I threw crystals at them.
You can hear a pin drop through the silence that follows. Sombra, beaming with pride, looks around the table at the dumbfounded and somewhat disappointed villains, looking at him like he has lobsters crawling out of his ears.
No wonder you lost.
Discord mumbles mockingly. Sombra glares at him.
Well, they were big crystals.
Yeah, that makes it so much better.
Nightmare says sarcastically. Every pony snickers as Sombra pouts.
I thought it was a good plan, Sombra.
Sonata puts a hand on his shoulder comfortingly.
So, what happened after you were defeated?
Sombra straightens up and continues the story.
Well, like Discord said, I was turned to smoke and banished to the Arctic. But although I was indeed defeated by the sisters, I was able to first place a curse on the Empire. It disappeared for 1,000 years, and when it returned, so did I. I still had a bit of control over the city, at least with the ponies still fearing me, so getting back wasn't much of a problem.
Until Cadence returned, got the crystal heart, and used it to blow you to smithereens?
Would you let me finish the story?
Sombra shouts. He places a card on the table and takes another from the deck.
Anyways, yes, I was blown up. But luckily my horn survived, allowing me to regenerate. And someday, I will return.
Oh yes, I can see it now. King Sombra returns. And he's hornier than ever.
Sonata just gives a confusing stare as Sombra's face turns red with anger.
That's it, you freak! Come at me! I dare you!
Ooh, what are you going to do? Throw some crystals at me?
Sombra snarls, but sits back down. Suddenly, A smirk appears on Sombra, as he has just thought of something funnier.
Well, at least I didn't get defeated by mushy-gushy love.
Excuse me!
Chrysalis stops laughing immediately, her face turning bright red. The others, however, howl even louder. They are almost crying, they are laughing so hard. Sombra has even started chuckling as well, as he sees the changeling blush with both embarrassment and rage.
I was still able to get closer than you, Sombra.
Chrysalis snaps.
How so?
Sombra asks, as he takes another card.
Because I was able to...
Oh, hornier! I get it! Like, because he's horn survived, so he's hornier! Good one, Discord!
Sonata laughs out loud as everybody else just stares at her with looks of horrified confusion, not knowing how to respond. As her laughing subsides, the others continue to stare in both annoyance and amazement.
Because I was able to actually kidnap Princess Cadence.
Chrysalis finishes, deciding to just forget about what just happened. The others follow her lead, and Sonata looks over at Chrysalis, completely oblivious.
And to be honest, it wasn't that hard. I traveled from Changeling Kingdom, a city far beneath the mountains. I was looking for a city that could supply enough food for my subjects. I must have looked for days before I found Canterlot. No other city had such love within it. At that time, the magic barrier wasn't around the city, so I was able to sneak into the city as a guard pony. As I traveled throughout the city, there was a particular pair of ponies that caught my eye. A lovely pink alicorn, giggling and resting her head on the shoulder of a muscular white unicorn stallion with a blue mane. The sight made me gag. But I did notice that the love the two were giving off was much stronger than the rest of the cities combined. That's when I devised a plan to take the form of the alicorn, feed off the love she had for the stallion, and use it to take over. Then I would move on to the world!
Okay, is there any evil plan that doesn't involve taking over the world?
Discord asks, as he shuffles the cards some more.
I mean, it seems kind of cliche.
Like you're the one to talk!
Point taken. Continue.
Anyway, I learned a little after that the two were engaged, and that made it all the better. I was able to disguise myself as a hoof maiden and lull the princess into a trap. She followed me into a dark room, and that's where I got the jump on her. I dragged her down into the catacombs under the sea, and took her place as Princess Mia More Cadenza. I drained the love the two had from each other, rose in power, and was even able to beat Celestia herself!
Poppycock!
Discord coughs loudly as the others snicker.
It's true!
Chrysalis says, annoyed at the Draconiquus.
I defeated Celestia and was this close to taking down the entire kingdom! Then Cadence had to break the bond on her husband and regain the love power.
She turns to Sombra.
I was able to kidnap a princess! I think that takes seniority over you, Sombra.
It doesn't over me.
Nightmare shouts. The others turn to her, startled by her sudden outburst.
I was able to beat Celestia without any love help.
For realsies? That's amazing, Mooney.
Sonata asks, her mouth ajar. Nightmare winces again and clenches her teeth.
If she calls me Mooney one more time...
Oh, lighten up, Nightmare. Why don't you tell us about your story about how you almost took over?
Well, it all started when...
Oh, wait, I forgot. You don't have a story. You turned evil, tore up your castle, shot Celestia with a laser, got banished to the moon, came back, and got taken down by the elements of harmony almost instantly. Not much to go on here.
The others break out in laughter as Nightmare turns her sinister gaze to the mocking Draconiquus.
If you're so cocky, Then why don't you tell us how you got defeated by the same elements twice?
Very true.
Discord smiles.
I did get defeated by the elements twice. But you're forgetting one important factor. I was able to defeat Celestia and Luna for the first time, corrupt Twilight Sparkle and her friends, and take over 2 times. I remember it like it was yesterday. During my first battle with Celestia and Luna, they really threw what they had at me, but my craziness was just too much for them. Celestia fired a laser at me, and I turned her tail into a cactus. Luna tried to sneak up on me. I gave her jelly legs. The 2 tried to rush me, and I just glued their horns together. I was just too much for them. I was having a hoot and a half myself. That fight led to some embarrassing moments from the 2 princesses. You should have seen it when I made Celestia's tongue too big. She sounded like she just got stung by a bee in the mouth. Oh, the things you don't get on camera. Anyway, after I defeated them, I made the world just as I wanted it. Full of chaos. Flying pigs, soap-covered streets, cotton candy clouds, the whole shebang! Nothing could ruin it. Except the elements, of course.
Of course.
Nightmare says smugly.
He was so sure of himself that his cockiness got him in trouble both times. I still have a picture of his first pose.
She lights up her horn as an image of Discord's first statue pose lights up around the table. It was the pose with him laughing with a raised claw, like he was singing opera or something.
Looks like you're singing in an opera or something.
The others laugh as Discord just rolls his eyes.
Oh, laugh if you will! But I still have something over all of you. While all of you were this close to achieving your goal, I had already achieved mine. Twice! Sure, I got defeated both times, but you have to remember, I won against my opponents the first round, and the only reason I lost the second round was because of the elements. Face it, no other force could stop me from achieving my goal, and that's why I'm the best villain. Any complaints?
Every pony at the table opens their mouths to protest, but then slowly closes them as they come to the realization that he is right. No pony came as close as Discord. The whole table slumps down in their chairs, defeated.
And that's not the only thing I'm best at.
Discord continues as he slams his cards down on the table. 2 kings and 3 jacks.
Full house, baby! Any better ones?
The others look at their cards. One by one, they groan in defeat and place their lower hands on the table. All except Sonata, who looks over her cards for a minute in confusion.
Is this a good hand?
As she places her cards down on the table, every pony's eyes grow wide as dinner plates. The only one who doesn't see is Discord, who is too busy striking a victory position.
Discord?
Sombra gives a smug grin.
You might not want to celebrate just yet.
Now, Sombra, what could possibly be put down that could...
He stops in his tracks as he looks at Sonata's hand. A 10 of clubs, a jack of clubs, a queen of clubs, a king of clubs, an ace of clubs. Discord's mouth literally drops to the floor in shock.
A royal flush?!
He shouts as the others chuckle in satisfaction.
Does this mean I win?
Yes, Sonata dear.
Nightmare smiles.
You win.
Woohoo!
Sonata jumps up and does a little dance. As this goes on, Discord just keeps banging his head against the wall, half cursing and half crying, and the others just sit around the table with satisfied smiles on their faces. They may not have beaten Discord with backstories or with their own hooves, but something just feels right, seeing Sonata put that cocky Draconequus in his place. Every pony else in the tavern looks up to see what is going on, and when they hear, they start laughing as well. Discord is never going to live it down that he lost a game of poker to Sonata.
Well fun, guys. But I gotta go now. See you guys. Hope we can do this again sometime. Da, 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 da.
Sonata happily says as she gathers up her winnings. She skips merrily out the door, the tables turned on Discord, still in disbelief. He, the Lord of all chaos, losing to the most annoying villain in the history of Equestria and beyond.
And to think, Discord,
Chrysalis says with an evil grin.
you were this close.
Oh, shut up, you oversized Swiss cheese-legged changeling!
Discord mumbles as he picks up what is left of his dignity and sulks toward the door. As he starts to head out, Tirek is on the other side, just about to head in.
Ah, Discord.
He gives a sinister smile.
Sorry I'm late. How's the game going?
Yes, I lost to Sonata at poker! Stop torturing me!
Discord shouts as he snaps his fingers and disappears in a huff, leaving a very confused Tirek at the door.
Did I just miss something?